I'm probably going to sound crazy, but back in the day, Cowboy Cerrone was a fighter that literally made me nervous going into the octagon. I would get nervous, my palms would start sweating. It would be the whole rabbit 8 Mile situation for me before he goes into the fight. And I felt completely invested in what happened to him, good or bad, going into those fights. It's the same way that I felt when I used to watch Kobe, and it's the same way I feel when I watch my beloved Cowboys rip my heart out year after year. I'm pretty sure that you probably have those same type of fighters that do that same for you, give you that emotional investments. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 fighters who give me that same type of feeling, who have hit a rough patch. But before I get into that, let me know, and of course, you know I always have a question, let me know which fighters do that for you and how you cope with that. Maybe we need a support group or something like that. I don't know. But drop that in the comments. Let me know. Y'all always have some great ideas and some great insight and things that I didn't think of. But without further ado, let's get into those 3 fighters. The first fighter is Adrian Yanez. Now, on January 1st of 2023, Adrian Yanez went into the year on a 9-fight winning streak. He was ranked in arguably the deepest division in the entirety of the sport. He was coming off a 1-round demolition of Torrey Kelly that came on the heels of an uncharacteristically hot lead up to the fight. He dispatched Kelly in front of almost a home crowd, which he's from Houston. That crowd was in Austin, and he turned his eyes towards moving up in the division. It seemed like him and Sean O'Malley were on the same train to greatness. But then the hype train got derailed as he ran into the veteran Rob Font, who had his own redemption story arc that he had to complete. Whether he got overconfident from landing shots on Font or was just outmaneuvered, Rob Font ended the night early for Yanez with a nasty KO. 6 months later, Yanez would unfortunately be chopped down by Jonathan Martinez, who destroyed Yanez's legs en route to a TKO victory. Now, with injuries and on a nasty losing skid, where do things go from here for Adrian Yanez? Another top 15 test or a reasonable warm-up fight to start rebuilding the star potential he previously displayed? You guys let me know. The second fighter is Tai Tuivasa. Now, in the middle of 2022, Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa was the hottest heavyweight going. He had come back from a previous losing skid and rattled off 5 knockout victories. You know how hard that is to do in the UFC, have 5 knockout victories? Well, he did that. He was ranked at the top of the division with only a few people between him and the title. Then he ran into Cyril in Paris. Cyril is tough anywhere, but in Paris, he's unbeatable. Tuivasa had his moments now. He even hit Gane with a shot that gave him twinkle toes. But Gane weathered the storm and came back to stop Bam Bam. Then Tuivasa ran into the streaking Sergey Pavlovich. It didn't even last a minute. Then he gathered his last setback against Alexander Volkov via Ezekiel choke. Volkov is pulling out chokes that people don't even use, and he's winning with them. Nobody would have saw that coming. So that's 3 losses in a row. But judging on what happened before, maybe that's when he does his best work. Crossing my fingers for a shoey celebration against Marcin Tybura. And the last one, and the most accomplished, Peter Yan. And finally, the former UFC bantamweight champion of the world, Peter Yan. How did we even get here? Once Yan landed that illegal knee, it changed the entire multiverse and entered us into an episode of Marvel's What If. Had that knee not landed, Aljamain Sterling may have never tasted UFC gold. Who knows how things may have shaken out, but it did. And Aljo took the rematch, and Peter hasn't won a fight in the octagon since 2021. That's bizarre. Peter Yan is still good, but maybe we've already seen the best Peter Yan that we're going to see. Based on how Merab Dvalishvili outclassed him, I'm really not sure anymore. We'll find out when he faces Song Yadong at UFC 299, but I'm just not sure who Peter Yan is anymore. We'll find out. But what do you think? Who is the fighter that gets your blood pumping for a fight? And for the fighters that I mentioned, I still believe in them. And a wise man once said, anything is possible when you believe.
When you believe, everything is possible.
Until next time.